Now, Co-op stores across the Western Isles have been running low on food supplies following an ongoing cyber attack on the company. The company is the main retailer in Skye, and the attack has led to a lack of deliveries and serious disruption on the island. James King is just one of the people affected.
It just became emptier and emptier to the point of I was really getting concerned and there was going to be any food to eat at all. And it's not getting any better with all the tourists we're getting for the Skye Live Festival we've got this weekend. And it's scary. And they told me last night at the store that they were going to have food in tomorrow morning, and I went in this morning as soon as it opened at 7 o'clock this morning, and all they had in was bananas and everything else was still empty. So it's the uncertainty that's really scaring the island right now.
Well, Adam Gordon is from Radio Skye and can tell us just how severe the impact has been.
The situation is very challenging for people in Skye and Lochailse at the moment. The cyber attack has rendered the ordering system in a position where they've been unable to fulfil orders for essentials like dairy, fruit, veg. Milk at times has been rationed to 2 litres per person. Now, this has came at a very difficult time for people because of the tourist season is getting in full swing here. A lot of bed and breakfast, hotels, as well as the resident population reliant on the Co-op as the only shop with a premises on the island in terms of a supermarket. So it's very difficult indeed at the moment for people living and visiting Skye.
Absolutely. You know, we're not talking about somewhere where if you can't go to the Co-op, there's another supermarket down the road. This is a store, this is a shop that people really rely on. So what are people going to be able to do? As you say, things are being rationed. What options do people have?
Well, there are some local independent shops. Of course, they are far smaller in scale. People can order deliveries from other supermarkets that come by vans, but the problem is that is dependent on having a booking slot, which of course ordinarily is quite difficult anyway. But when you put on top the extra demand because of the fallout of the Co-op not stocking these items, then it's extremely difficult for people visiting the island, people living here, people with families trying to get fruit and veg, essential provisions really to feed their families. The Co-op staff, of course, are blameless in this. They're working really hard in an incredibly difficult situation. I was in the Co-op in Portree, the biggest of the 2 stores, about an hour ago, and the staff there were no more in the clear about what was happening than probably the large majority of customers.
Have you ever seen anything like this level of disruption at all? I'm thinking, back to lockdown and COVID days, obviously we saw some empty shelves, but have you seen anything to this level of disruption in Skye alone like this?
No, Amy, because there is an extra pressure during the busy summer months because the visiting population means that the number of people on the island does swell considerably. But that is something that can cause a bit of difficulties for people living on the island. There's times where you go in and there is a shortage of food, not to any extent of this proportion. So it's something that is unprecedented. We know that the Co-op are working to address the issue, but there is a lack of clarity about when it will be resolved. I contacted the Co-op myself today as my capacity as a journalist for Radio Skye, still waiting to hear a response as to a bit more of a clear deadline about when the situation would be resolved. But in terms of seeing it's like before, I would certainly say that we've not seen anything to this extent before on the island.